You need another
I do. Another
episode of Oddball.
That's it. Welcome to Oddball. I'm Amin Elhassan. Look who's in studio, guys.
Hey.
It's Charlotte Wilder.
Here I am.
In the flesh.
Yep.
Got a great show for you today. I promise I'm not going to get ejected. Charlotte,
Oh, I might. Who
right.
knows what I'm going to say to a ref who might happen to walk in here?
Might ask you to count words. Let's get right into it. Like,
Yeah, let's do it.
Draymond Green.
What's going on?
What's going on? So, for those of you that haven't heard, Warriors were playing the Suns last night, and Draymond Green is, in his words, trying to sell a call.
Yeah.
Flails his arms wildly and punches Nurkic in the face.
Yes.
Gets ejected. After the game, Draymond Green says,
He was pulling my hip, and I was swinging away to sell the call. Made contact with him. As you know, I'm not one to apologize for things I meant to do, but I do apologize to you, sir. Because I didn't intend to hit him. I sell calls with my arms. I don't fall or to sell a call. I'm not a flopper. So I was just selling the call because he was grabbing me and pulling my hip back. So I spun away, and unfortunately I hit him. And so, like I said, I apologize to you, Seth, because I didn't intend to hit him.
And so here I have many questions for you. I mean, first of all, do we believe him? Do you think that's what's going on? Second of all, remember, we had a lot of fun in the offseason when they came up with the rules against flopping.
Yep.
STEM.
The STEM rules.
What is it? Secondary theatrical
exaggerated movement.
Yep. And so Draymond's basically out there being like, yeah, I was flailing my arms with the windmill. They specifically referenced the windmill.
The airplane propellers is what they call it.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. To me, Nurkic after the game said, "What's going on with him?" And I feel the same way because I'm assuming he's going to get suspended. As of this recording, nothing has come down yet from the league. But assuming he does get suspended, that means he'll have been suspended 4 times in the calendar year of 2023.
That's crazy.
It's an insane. Like at some point, it's like the line from the breakup. She doesn't have a problem. She's the problem. Like,
right.
Draymond doesn't have a problem. He's the problem. And I'm someone who's really been apologetic and kind of look past a lot of the things and really credit him for a lot of their success. And part of that success is him being on the edge. But he's not on the edge at this point.
Yeah, he's gone over it, I think. Because here's the thing. When somebody is sort of appears to be unraveling. Obviously, I haven't talked to Draymond. I don't know what's going on, but something is clearly going on just from these actions. And how many times was he suspended before 2023?
Twice.
And now
So you had the game in the finals.
Yep.
And then there was a team suspension from his argument with Kevin Durant.
Right.
And then so that's like 2018, 2019, that one, and 2016 was the one in the finals.
And now all of a sudden it's 2023, calendar year 4.
Right. And that's obviously coming off the heels of what happened at the end of 2022 when he punched Jordan Poole. He didn't get suspended for that, but obviously that was a pretty big mile marker in the calendar, right?
Yeah.
In the timeline. So I'm at a point where I wonder if this is kind of a culmination of a feeling of infallibility, right? That I can do anything and it's not that big of a deal. Because oftentimes people who have a problem, they're always in denial, right? Like if you have not
First
compared to like a drinking problem.
admitting
that you have a problem. Like, it's not that big deal. Like I don't, or like hey man, you smoke a lot. I have one every once in a while, but
right.
If you're doing that, if you're constantly, and I feel like every time he talks, even here, he apologized to Jusuf Nurkic, but it's a lot of, I'm selling my calls, and so it's like, dude, at some point you got to be like, man, I'm messing up.
Right. There's absolutely no accountability on his part. I also feel like when you say it's infallibility, I also feel like it's it almost reminds me of like a kid purposely testing the limits of somebody who's like going up against something.
I don't think he's testing limits anymore. I think he feels limitless.
There is no limit.
There is
the
no
limit does not exist.
Yeah.
The limit does not exist.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh, Mean Girls. I've seen that movie.
I've only seen that movie like once, I think. But yes,
it's a good one.
Yes, it's not someone saying, "I wonder if I can get away with this." It's the kid whose parents are like drinking at 4 p.m. and like, yeah, it just
Right.
don't be too late, and then they don't
Right.
care. They come back at 1 a.m. and the parent is
There
knocked
have
out on
been
the
no
couch.
boundaries, so why would he adhere to them now?
And so I don't want to overreact, but there is a part of this where it's like, do you get it? Are you familiar with the concept of like, or are you saying, man, I don't know why everyone's making such a big deal of it? I'll give you a great example. It's a famous example from when I worked for the Suns. Robin Lopez, who used to have an awful temper, and like awful temper, hated losing anything, lost a little like BS 3-on-3 game that they were doing after practice. Him and some of the other young guys, whatever, got angry because Jaron Collins was JC. I'm putting you out there. He's talking trash, and the last thing he said as he hit the game winner was "game blouses," right, from the Prince Chappelle Show skit. Robin gets angry, goes up the stairs, and like as he's coming out, slams the door. The door shatters.
Oh boy!
It's a glass door. It shatters. By the way, it has one of those hydraulic things so that you can't slam it. So like the amount of force to be able to do that is, and Robin, he got fined by the team, and they had a sit down, and I'll never forget this. And Robin, I love you. He said, if the door was metal, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. Now,
so Draymond's like, if everybody in the league were metal, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
It's like I can't hit someone like, but the moral of the story is, Robin eventually realized that it wasn't on that day, but he eventually realized, man, I'm kind of out of control, and was able to harness it, and has had a marvelous career. 19. So this is 18th year.
It's crazy.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So clearly, we're not talking about Draymond's career being over. I'm just saying. There's a part of it that's like, you have to recognize, dude, it is detrimental at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. Part of me wonders, do you think this is partly because he is coming closer to the end? Like, it's closer to being over than it ever has been before.
We were on Le Batard's show earlier, and Dan wondered that. Is it the feeling that maybe not his career,
like
but
closing
like
in on you,
the window's
time,
closing of like us being successful in the IT team or whatever. I don't know. I think it's just someone who's operated with zero boundaries, and now it's spilling over everywhere, and without there being something for him to say, "Oh, that's not good."
Yeah.
Not I'm selling calls. Not the kid said this. Not Rudy's a jerk, and I've always like not always. There's a justification. There's got to be a point where it's like, dude, I'm letting my team down.
I want to know what the team's like. I feel like the team has had Draymond's back for the most part in a lot of this, and at a certain point, like behind closed doors.
Yeah. Steve Kerr's in front of closed doors and in front of open doors, whatever you want to call it. Quote, we need him. We need Draymond. He knows that. We've talked to him. He's got to find a way to keep his poise and be out there for his teammates.
Yeah.
So it's there.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't the only person who got ejected last night.
Who else?
Nikola Jokic.
On Serbian night?
On Serbian night in Chicago.
Dobre.
He was ejected 5 minutes into the game because he didn't like a non-call that a ref made. Yeah. He said, call the foul, motherfucker.
Yes.
And the ref was like, you know what I will do is call a tech on you and you're out.
I'll call a foul. I'll call a technical foul.
Oh, okay. Sure. So basically, Jokic dared him to eject him. Afterwards, Jokic said it is what it is.
Yeah, and he said,
I'm just happy that we didn't play in Serbia this game. It's going to be really fun to see how it will be ended. So it was interesting, It is what it is. Some guys can say whatever.
So
that's a veiled threat. That is a veiled threat, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the scariest thing he's ever said.
Yeah, probably.
Truly.
I mean, look, what he's talking about, what Serbian crowds are like, right? With the fire in the stands and like the flares.
I think about that at least once a day. I think about a Serbian basketball game, that clip where and they're like shaking the arena. I think about that plays in my head at least once a day.
You know what? One of my favorite things when it comes to like, is mostly soccer hooliganism, but it's mainly like European sports fans. You know what they call those? The ultras.
No way.
That's the term, the
Oh,
ultras.
God.
And it's like, you think you like your team? Well, get a load of these guys.
Yeah, if that happens in Serbia, that ref's got to enter the witness protection program.
I mean, dude.
He might have to now,
He'd be
actually, in
like
America.
that ref in that Turkish soccer game who got knocked out and then had a neck brace afterward, which I can't get enough of.
Makes the NFL look real soft.
Yeah. CTE. I'll show you CTE. All right. Last story. Oh, I just shot myself. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I have a bullet down my pants now. As I had this in the small of my bag. Little Ja Morant action, ladies and gentlemen. Testifying for the first time.
Do you even have any Nerf pellets in
Do
here?
I have Nerf pellets, she asked. Yeah.
Jesus.
There it is. Testifying for the first time in a lawsuit roughly 1 week before he's supposed to return from his 25-game suspension.
Yeah.
He took the stand, and the clip that's going viral is him demonstrating to the lawyer how he punched.
Punch me.
No.
Well, show me how to punch. You punched him.
It's all right.
No, you need to show me how you punched him.
All right, Charlotte.
Yeah.
This is going to sound dumb, but my absolute favorite thing about that clip is he's like, you want me to show you? And she's like, yes, I want you to show me like how you punched him.
Yeah.
And so the moment it's just like the moment his fist goes up, you hear 8 billion cameras go, shh, shh, shh. I was like, damn, they were waiting. I would have pump faked him. I'm like,
He should have. I was shocked he.
2 for flinching.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, when he said that he punched him first in self-defense.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, part of me was sort of like, I get it. Like, if he's saying the guy was coming at him and he's like, I'm going to, you can't really say that or do that, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things.
It's
Like it's a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Right. And I get it. It's a big kid. The kid's a basketball player, so it's not like
Right.
me or you.
Oh,
when we were
actually,
17.
I did forget that part.
Yeah.
Until right now. That the kid was 17.
17. But again, not like a regular 17-year-old.
Right.
Like, so it is
Still a
plausible.
child legally.
Yeah, yes. Still a child, but also it's plausible that
Yeah.
Ja truly feared for his safety, like he acted in self-defense. But like the other part of it is like, yeah, you were at your house, all your boys are there.
Yeah, you invited these people.
Your security is there. So it's like, again, how much imminent threat was there really from a 17-year-old? You go either way.
So what happens now? How does this affect him? How does this affect his coming back? Does it at all?
It doesn't. It was just an excuse to bring out the Nerf gun.
Oh, okay.
That's all right, let's take a break. When we come back, the Wizards might be moving. Charlotte Wilder.
Amin Elhassan.
This is one of those segments where you and I get to nerd out over something that's not necessarily headline news,
Yes.
but the Washington Wizards announced that they're going to be moving to a new facility at some point in Arlington, Virginia, which
Yes. So here,
give us some Washington,
I
D.C.
lived
geography.
in Washington, D.C. for a year. And Arlington is basically like the bougie part of D.C.
Yeah.
It's across the river in a different state. It's not in Maryland, but it's basically the same thing. So this
Right.
would be like saying, it's like Kansas City. It's like KC-Mo, KCK. And I think that it's a little, I was sort of surprised because it feels, I'm like, well, first of all, the Leonsis Monumental Sports owns
Right. Like,
Capital One Arena, which
yes.
still feels sort of, it doesn't feel old in DC.
It opened in 1997, so that it's 26 years old, but it's not an outdated facility. I mean, I guess every facility at some point becomes outdated, but what I'm trying to say is like it's not like the Palestra, like that, those things where people are sitting on concrete and stuff. It's a functional building.
Right.
And we've seen in recent years Madison Square Garden, which was a lot older, get renovated.
Yep.
We've seen Footprint Center in Phoenix, which was the old America West Arena, U.S. Airways Center, Talking Stick, et cetera, et cetera. It got renovated, and they're world-class facilities, I would say.
Yeah, as they say on home renovation shows, the bones are good.
The bones are good. So I'm staggered to hear that they'd be leaving, but especially so, the biggest reason why teams usually leave the building and build a new one, is because they don't own the building. They don't have, or they don't operate the building. So the Clippers building their facility down in Inglewood. It's because they are the third tenant in this building, and they've got zero, they've got very little leeway in terms of signage and things like that, and the fixed stuff, right? And in terms of picking dates, they get third priority behind the Kings and the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that, Monumental, you own the Capital One Arena. You operate. You are the main operator. You can do whatever you want there. Why are you leaving?
Well, especially because it says that they'll break their lease, or that there's a lease. I'm like, are you leasing it to yourselves? And also that the new arena, which would be $500 million in city funding, again, just stealing from taxpayers to build a sports arena, would be a 40-year lease.
Yeah.
So do they also, would they own that and then lease it to themselves? Like, I have a lot of questions. And I also, my main question is, if you're leaving this arena,
right,
who's going to rent that? It's not like an apartment building. Is it like for concerts, like a concert venue?
Mega church? I don't know.
Yes, right.
Like, every city I go to is like, Señor's coming in. I'm like, all right. Like, so that
they could just set up shop there.
The arena is in Chinatown, so
oh yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's one of those things where a lot of this, it's not making sense to me.
You know what I think it is?
What is it?
I think it's that their team sucks and they needed to do something that would make fans happy, and they didn't feel like firing the coach.
Yeah, no, yeah. Hey, guys, you know what would be great? Instead of being able to get out of the metro and walk right over to the arena, we're going to put it across the river in Alexandria and make you have to commute and get stuck in traffic and all that stuff.
However, you will be able to buy a very nice polo shirt at a store nearby.
Pause up, Charlotte. It's word count time. That's right. This is the game where we ask a question and we have to answer it in 10 words or less. And we represent the 10 words with the 10 fingers.
With their digits.
Yes, 10 digits.
I like calling fingers digits.
Do you?
Yeah, because it's numbers.
That makes you feel smart. Okay. It's numbers. All right.
It's numbers.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Question number 1.
Uh-huh.
Damn. What struggling team has the best hope to not finish last in the league?
Oh, no.
And why? And your options are the 2-21 Detroit Pistons, the 3-19 San Antonio Spurs, or the 3-19 Washington Wizards. Washington's been under the radar bad, right? Because the other two have these franchise-busting losing streaks.
Yeah.
Like
Washington's
right
like,
under.
We've always had the capability to do this.
Bad.
Okay, so there is no way of knowing. I don't know. Like, my knee-jerk reaction was like, maybe the Wizards, because we've been talking about them losing a little bit less. But like, I think this is anyone's game. This is a pin the tail on the donkey situation.
They're all awful in their special way.
I know. So it's like, what special way do you think has a chance of being slightly less special than the other ones?
See, here's
like,
the thing. Washington is like, I don't trust your players, right?
No.
Detroit, I don't think you have good players.
Yep.
San Antonio,
you got one.
And I also don't think your coach is trying
I
right
don't
now.
either.
Right?
I think Pop's like, I saw him mouth to Thibodeau.
Who cares?
At the end of a Knicks game. No, he mouthed. I was watching, and he was like, Tibbs, hugs him, and Pop steps back from the hug, and he says, it's going to take a while. I saw him mouth that, and I was like,
oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Amin, ready?
Uh-huh.
Where is the best fit for Pascal Siakam, and why?
Oh, Golden State.
Whoa.
Because Draymond is unreliable.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the deal. That's the deal that got away from them. They had an opportunity a year ago, maybe a little bit more, to go out and get Pascal Siakam. And they didn't. They chose to reinvest in their young guys, and Jordan Poole being one of them. And that experiment now we know has failed miserably.
Yeah.
Wiseman was traded for pennies on the dollar.
I forget about him, to be honest.
Well, I watch a lot of Detroit, so unfortunately I can't forget about him. But I think that's the guy that could have helped them extend this window, as opposed to trying whatever they're trying to do with Chris Paul and all these other all the other young guys trying to step up and be something that they're probably not ready to be. I thought Siakam would have been the best fit for them back then. Now, is it too late? I don't know, but you got to shake shit up.
Okay, I love it.
All right. Number 2, Tuesday night's TNT crew. Grant Hill, Vince Carter, and Jamal Crawford.
Yes.
You're down by a point.
Ooh.
With 5 seconds to go on the clock.
Okay.
Who do you want with the ball, Charlotte?
So it's not a catch and shoot.
Not
situation.
a catch and shoot. They got enough time to make a play.
Really, yeah. Grant Hill.
There you go. All you need. But why? They say more words.
Sorry. Grant Hill. Because you always talk about his greatness.
I like how you fit in the sorry there to start.
Yeah, yeah, because you always talk about what an amazing player he is and how we don't appreciate that enough and how he was able to come back and, sacrifice for the team when he needed to. And I feel like what?
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
I've worked with all 3 of those guys.
Yeah?
Grant Hill in Phoenix, Vince Carter in Phoenix, and Jamal Crawford when I was working for the Knicks.
Hey.
So I know all 3 of those guys. I was going to say, I'm going to pick my guy. I'm like, wait a second. They're
all your guys. Okay, well, I picked your guy for you so you didn't have to.
There you go.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Should the Lakers be shopping around D'Angelo Russell or not, and why?
Probably not, because they need shooting and he's good. Mm-hmm. Right? So I say probably not, because if you told me, hey, if we shop him, we can add 2 shooters or 3 shooters to the equation, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm not stumping for D'Angelo Russell. I think he's a good player. I think they could do better, or they need more than what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
But what he brings to the table right now to the Lakers, they don't have a whole lot of guys that also do that.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, they kind of need him, even if they might be pining for something better. So if you're going to shop him, it's got to be with the understanding that I'm getting an even better shooter back, or a more reliable shooter, or multiple shooters.
Right. Okay.
Charlotte, number 3, what do we think of Scotty Barnes' fit? And here's a picture of him walking into the arena looking like a complete douchebag.
Love it. Really? Love it. 10 out of 10, no notes, because it looks like he's cosplaying Johnny Cash.
Love it.
Sorry. Love it, love it, love it. 10 out of 10, Johnny Cash-esque.
Okay.
Which could be one word if you count the hyphen at the end of Cash and esque.
Sure.
Yeah, I just like when people wear weird stuff. I like when people wear something where you're like, what? Especially in December. Especially when it's like, what?
Like Tommy DeVito's agent?
Yes. Anything I can do to talk about Tommy DeVito's agent. No, I feel like it's a little country western inspired. There's some satin. He needed a guitar slung around his back and it would have completed the look. So 9 out of 10 because there's no guitar.
Oh, wow. Docking points. Okay.
Yeah. Amin, what can Duncan Robinson do, one of my large adult sons, to continue to make this the best season of his career?
Duncan Robinson, proud son of New England.
Yeah.
Just like Charlotte Wilder, proud daughter of New England.
Charles.
Oh, and Charles Wilder as well.
is a son of New England.
You have a mustache right there.
Oh, but it's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I can't take it off.
So just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's all. Like right now, he's back to feeling like I haven't seen this Duncan Robinson literally in 4 years.
Yeah.
Not since the year they went to the bubble and went to the finals. Before the bubble, and for much of the bubble up until his little dipshit friend was like, you know LeBron James? And then all of his confidence leaked after that. That's the whole.
That was mean.
That was the turning point.
Yeah.
The turning point. Duncan Robinson was out here shooting, like fully realizing, I belong in the NBA. I'm a rotation guy. I'm one of the best shooters in the game, perhaps ever, right? And then LeBron said, what's up, Dunk? And he said, what's up, LeBron? And his stupid-ass dipshit friend from New England said, whoa, dude, LeBron, I can't believe it because it's you. You're just some dude from New Hampshire. And that's LeBron James. And you guys are on the same court at the same time. This is unbelievable. And he walked around with imposter syndrome for 4 goddamn years.
Yep.
But this year, the imposter is gone. Mm-hmm. You ain't got to do nothing else, man.
I love it.
You keep doing it.
There is always one dipshit friend from New England. It's always the New England guy who screws everything up because they sort of say the truth.
It's going to do it for word count.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching Oddball. Gamble responsibly. You concur?
Yeah, always.
You very reluctantly said, mm-hmm.
I said, mm-hmm.
It is the DraftKings network.
Yes,
You know that, right?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
just getting you up to date
I
there.
wasn't sure how to respond.
Only been about 7 months of show that we've been doing.